Okay, let's go ahead and talk about real numbers here for a second. So, when you're studying algebra or mathematics in general, you may not realize it, but the numbers you've been working with, we've actually kind of classified in various ways. So you probably kind of maybe picked up on this when you were in elementary school. First of all, we started working with numbers like 1 and 2, and then your teacher said, "Hey, listen, we're going to throw in some challenging stuff called fractions," and you're like, "Oh man." 2/3, 1/4, and you're like, oh, that's tough. Especially started doing things with these numbers, right? You started adding them, subtracting them, multiplying, divide, etc. You know, and most students hate that. You've got to be working with these kind of nice, simple whole numbers, to multiply and divide. But then, you started dealing with fractions. Then you might do problems like this. Okay, 7 divided by 2, and then you get some sort of decimal. All these type of numbers that you're working with are part of real numbers. Okay, so real numbers are a crucial study, or your understanding of what real numbers are is essential to learning mathematics, especially algebra and beyond. So let's just take a look real quick and talk about what they are. Best way to do that, I think, is to show you a real number line. Okay, we'll put 0 here in the middle, and let's kind of build up the real numbers. Okay, now the real numbers are actually kind of made up, as I was talking about earlier, of other various type of number sets. Okay, so here we have fractions, here we have some basic whole numbers, and then we had some decimals over here. So I'm going to kind of just very quickly give you a sense of these number sets by starting from the beginning. Okay, so here we had 0, but I'm not going to write that here for a second. When you first were learning about numbers, you're very young. You learned them in a natural way. You looked around and you said, "Hey, I see one toy. I see two toys." So we started like using your fingers, right? I got one finger, two finger, etc. So we call those type of numbers what you physically see natural numbers. So let's put them right here: 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, so these are like natural occurring numbers. Those are a type of number system. Okay, then some smart person thousands and thousands of years ago figured out, you know what? We need another number that means that we don't have anything, called 0, right? So when we throw 0 in on our number line, okay, these are called the whole numbers. Okay, and what I'm doing here is building up all the numbers that make up the real number system. Then later on, people started figuring out that it'd be pretty cool to have these negative numbers, right? So we kind of throw those in on our little number line, and those are called the integers. Okay, so all these the whole numbers and the negative whole numbers are called the integers. Let's see if I can kind of do it this way. All right, we'll give that like an I. Okay, so those are the integers. Now, if we start taking integers and comparing them by division, i.e. a fraction, like 2/3 or negative 1/4, those are called, well, you know them as fractions, but we actually call those rational numbers. Okay, so those rational numbers are all through here, right? And the abbreviation for rational numbers generally is Q. Okay. Now, those are numbers that we can express as a fraction, and then there's other types of numbers that we cannot express as a fraction, and those numbers are called irrational numbers, and they're all over this entire number line. We'll call that IR. So just let's take a look what we have here. We had these natural numbers, and then we learned about whole numbers, and then someone discovered integers, and then we figured out, hey, we have rational numbers and irrational numbers. Well, all of these numbers put together are the real number system. Okay, any number that exists on this real number line is a real number, and generally speaking, the abbreviation is like a big capital R, the real number set. Okay, it kind of looks like that. All right, so those are real numbers, and you're saying, well, is that all the different type of numbers there are? And actually, there's a lot more type of numbers in mathematics, namely the complex number system. All right, and if you want to learn about that or anything else about mathematics and in particular algebra, shoot on over to our site, algebratesthelper.com. Total free resource, totally help you out. Stop struggling. We can help you out on all the information you need to ace math is over here. Okay, so hope this video helps you out. Have a great day.